Hello, this is Tayu. For this video, I want to make a statement on can a Byronic person or a person with Byronic traits change? The answer is that there are several ways that you can uh, improve the worst aspects, but you cannot remove the fundamental core of Byronism most of the time because the evolutionary root of this is a need to rebel and not adapt to conformity. And that's what the root of Byronism is. So you cannot change the core, but you can improve the worst aspects. Um, and there's a funny little concept which I call Norwegian friendships, and it's a very strange concept. This is one of the ways in which people with Byronic traits tend to sort of get put back in their place when it comes to constantly trespassing social boundaries or stuff, being insensitive or stuff like that, because it's a friendship or bond based on ambivalence, love, hate, teasing, and being constantly driven to madness by the other person's behaviors, even though they're not always necessarily toxic. They're just a little difficult. A Norwegian friendship may have the both parties constantly bicker at each other, block each other several times. One party constantly leaves and comes back into the group or something like that. And I'm talking about the relationship between two specific individuals I will not name, but their bond is quite funny to me because it's so unique and it's so complex too. I think people who have Byronic traits have the potential to improve themselves in those extremely complex dynamic relationships, uh, mentally and socially, because and emotionally, because it allows them to they need to be challenged. They need to be challenged on their preconceived ideas on how reality works, and because they can be quite stubborn in the way that they think through things and process things. So this might be beneficial for them, and I've seen it myself. I am not saying that the one of the person in this specific bond I speak about has Byronic traits, but I did make an initial Byronic traits questionnaire, and that person scored at least higher than average. So this is not a means to diagnose anyone, but based on this observation, I can tell that there are a few quirks that look Byronic like in the way that things are spoken, things are done, things are said, things are thought through. And yeah, I'm not gonna say who these people are, but I'm just saying that the relationship itself, not the persons, but the relationship has this sort of Byronic undertone beneath it, or an aspect that is Byronically challenged, an aspect that can challenge Byronics easily. Another way to improve Byronic traits is limiting your use of social media because it tends to deeply enable these traits. And social media and the internet is a heck of a cesspool of different ideological toxicities, of treason, trolling, insensitive people, um, being prematurely exposed to macabre content and gore and things like that. This can really trigger some kind of Byronic view of life when you're young and you're really young and you're prematurely pre-exposed to all that stuff. And you tend to draw towards things that have like this sort of macabre overtone because it's what you were taught, it's what you were used to in childhood or something like that. on the internet. I've heard of at least one person who related to Byronic tendencies who has said explicitly, very explicitly, that their traits improved after their parents were very strict on their use of social media as a teenager. And that before that, they used to be super edgy and whatnot. And I'm not saying being edgy is bad, I'm just saying that constantly trespassing social boundaries just for the hit, just for the thrill, the adrenaline, this can be a sort of a toxic, Byronic attitude. And this is extremely common. So, yeah. Those are like two ways that a person with Byronic traits can change, but you cannot really change their core that much. Because of the evolutionary reason behind Byronism. So yeah, those are two reasons. I hope that you enjoy this video and thank you.